Let us be clear. I'm coming from a place of understanding. So I commented on a YouTube video about transgenders, asking a variety of different questions I never had the chance to ask in the real world. With the amount of sensitivity around this community, I was not surprised that I was spammed, and hardly anyone actually answered any of my questions. Anyway, I decided to start my own channel because it's super healthy to need validation from strangers, right? So here's my video essay. All these great details here. That looks important. On my confusion with transgenderism. Transgenderism? Ism? Who knows? The transgender community should seek mental health support. How can a person say something like, I have always felt like a woman, or I feel as though I was born in the wrong body? How can anyone say that with a straight face? What does it even mean? How can any man by birth ever begin to understand what it feels like to be a woman? If freaking Shaquille O'Neal had a press conference tomorrow saying he identified as an Asian woman, we would look at him like he was batshit crazy. We would probably say, Shaq, honey, whatever do you mean? I mean, let's see. Is it because all Asians aren't able to drive, maybe? Or maybe it's because all Asians are super smart? Maybe?
We got here?
Yeah. When I say I'm meditating, I'm just trying to figure out what the fork is happening. I think we might be in an alien zoo or on a prank show.
No, Jean, you were dead.
Whoa.
Yeah, you go, Shaq girl, with your Asian-ness. Anyway, the same logic applies here. Race is a social construction the same way that gender is. Just because you don't want to conform to basic gender roles or stereotypes does not mean you were born in the wrong body. It just means you're different. Just because Shaq may be a shitty driver and a genius in the maths and sciences per se, doesn't mean he's an Asian woman, unfortunately. There was a point there somewhere, I'm sure. Or maybe I just like talking about Shaq.
We have a situation here, take Facebook, where we have 78 genders now, I'm told. Now, when gender becomes indeterminate, you can have 7 billion genders. Or you can decide, or you can believe that gender is assigned at birth. Now, if gender is assigned at birth, it follows automatically that gender cannot change. It cannot change. It's
super contradictory to say things like gender and sex are different. But the transgender process typically ends with the person replacing their biological genitals, or wanting to replace their biological genitals. Doesn't really make much sense.
Help. Okay, they may be highly vulnerable, they may be in lots of situations that they don't want to be in.
84% of young trans people are either self-harming or have attempted suicide.
What he's saying is, I suppose there has to be some order to things. And when you look back, I mean, how does genealogy continue? How do records be kept when someone...
We're talking about gender identity, we're not talking about biological sex.
Gender and sex are the same.
They're not the same.
Stop that shit, man!
To be a woman. What does it even mean to be a woman? Wearing makeup, heels, talking like this, yes queen, yes bitch. Women come in all shapes, sizes, personalities. They are literally a box of chocolates. And they shouldn't be reduced to a few outdated stereotypes. I mean, it just seems that most transgender women in the public eye all exemplify what a male thinks being a woman is. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, transgender men, who rarely ever get attention in these conversations. And trust me, I know, I've watched like 2.5 whole videos on this topic, so I am an expert. You can definitely trust me. It just seems really like another way of oppressing women by the patriarchy. Yeah. But I digress. Nobody cares about a biological woman's struggles.
Yes.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay, you can go.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
Label me as a bigot, turf person, freaking buzzkills. I assume the reason why I was spammed to begin with was over the bathroom debate. I mentioned in the comments that I didn't want my daughter in this bathroom with someone with a penis. And I was met with outrage, like insane. People thought I was crazy, as if it was so wrong to want to be concerned about my child's welfare. Let alone the fact that there are genuine creeps in this world who are probably itching at the opportunity to take advantage of such a policy. And this brings me to my biggest issue or confusion on this matter. Why are we normalizing this behavior? I'm all for feel how you feel and live your best life, girlfriend. But it's just a feeling. The world would crumble into pieces if everyone's feelings were given this much credibility.
I just wish we could all get along like we used to in middle school. I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles and we'd all eat it, be happy.
She doesn't even go here.
Do you even go to this school?
No, I just have a lot of feelings.
Okay, go home.
Stop trying to normalize this behavior and expect everyone to submit to this disease. The same way I wouldn't encourage a morbidly obese person to give in to their sickness, I wouldn't support someone wanting to replace their own genitals. I would help them and encourage them to seek treatment for their mental illness. Heck, we're not just letting schizophrenic people run up and down the street feeding their own delusions. Shoot, we tell people with disorders that we love them, and we care for them, and we want them to get better.
To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands.
In my personal opinion, the transgender community has just been put on this untouchable pedestal, and they can't be challenged with anything. If we just stop pretending like this is just a natural thing and everyone should totally be on board, then maybe we'd open the doors to some conversations.
And don't even get me started on the kids. I'm looking at you, Wayne Gabriel. You got to be some sick.